Hello, you're through to Minis and Motorbikes, Adam, Mark and Archie. We're working on a car at the moment, so leave a message after the beep.
Hey, Mark and Adam, it's Will. I'm in London next week if you want to catch up for a nice cup of tea.
Right, welcome to another episode of Minis and Motorbikes. Now, this week we've got...
Now, second part of the Mark Blundell interview.
Oh yes, yeah, the second part of that.
We talked about touring cars and his business, the MB Partners.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. There's an exclusive with the touring cars as well. He hasn't told anybody else this.
Like, yeah. And we've also got to do the rust treatment.
Yes,
for the bolts. Yeah, we were looking at all the chemicals. All the stuff come from... what was
Classic Plating.
Classic Plating.
Liz at Classic Plating.
Classic Plating.
Yeah, it's contact Liz at Classic Plating.
So we'll have a crack at that, get them all cleaned up. Yeah. Might have a couple of professors give us a hand as well.
Well, we're only trying 3 bolts. We're having a test of it at the moment. I don't want to do them all until I've got my head around it, because I don't want to muck it up. I don't want to cock it up, basically.
That's fair enough.
We're just going to do 3 bolts. Yeah, we'll let it explain anyway in the bit we're doing.
All right. So we'll crack on. Oh no! Before we crack on, now it was somebody's birthday last week. 38. So I've got you something special, mate.
Have you?
Yeah, I have. I've got you a mini birthday cake.
Well, a cake in the shape of it. What have you painted up the colours that this is going to be when it's finished?
That'd have been a good idea. That would. That'd have been a good idea. No, when I say mini cake, bear with me. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Hold on. Now, it's got a candle and a flame and everything. Look at that. Look. It's got a candle and a flame. Look. Right, here we go. Blow it out, mate. Make a wish.
You've surpassed yourself.
It's a birthday wish.
It is a mini cake, isn't it?
It is. Go on, blow it out, make a wish. Now I'm still here. So right. Do you want it now or are you going to eat it later?
I'll eat it later with a cup of tea.
You're going to eat it with a cup of tea. All right.
You're going to cut it in half.
You're going to cut it in half so I can have a bit.
Cut it in half?
You're going to cut it in half so I can have a bit. Share, share and share alike.
Hey, bloody cut it in half. It's not even a mouthful there, is it?
You're watching your weight, aren't you? You're watching your weight.
Even so. Right. You see the unboxing that we did last time with all the stuff they sent us, all this wonderful freebies they sent us for the zinc plating. Now originally, see, I bought this bucket of kit. It got the battery charger in it, the trickle charger. It got all the plates in it, the chemicals and everything else. And I thought it did the zinc plating, but it didn't. When I actually read it properly, being me, it only takes the rust off. So we're going to do the rust treatment first with this little setup. So what we've done, we've got a bucket. Shaku's done.
I'm playing safe. Yeah. You and chemicals.
We could be chemical brothers.
We could.
So yes, so I've put 4.5 litres of warm water in the bucket, as stated in the instructions. We've got 200 grams of the chemical,
got to be warm
which
water.
is ammonium chloride. So then I've nicked the fish tank, out the fish tank. I've nicked the thermometer, keep it at 30 degrees because it wants to be about 30ish degrees. We've got an
ammeter. Where does it show you that? Does it show you that?
Yeah, it's just on the top there. There's a little dial on the top. You set it to the temperature.
Oh, because that's doing the heat, not the measuring.
Yeah, no. So we've got 3 bolts in there. Now, 1 bolt is the control, so we haven't done we haven't rubbed it off with a wire brush or anything. It's just as it comes, the bolt comes just with the rust on it. I've just degreased it with body wipe, basically. Give it a good scrub with that. The second bolt, I just cleared the rust off with a normal wooden wire brush that you use sort of cleaning, decorating and stuff like that. And then the third one, I've cleaned the rust off with an angle grinder with a wire brush on it. So obviously there are 3 stages of rust off of them. So now we've got that heated up, we've just got to add this chemical to it.
Now, before you had that chemical,
Yeah.
did you pay attention at school when we used to do this at school? No. Didn't really do it at school, did we?
No, the only time I took any attention at school was when taught us how to make gunpowder.
Yeah. I used to like lunchtime and breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shame we didn't pay attention.
Yeah, shame.
Because we could have been professors at this. We could have been professors.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh.
What's happening? Hey, hang on. Right.
Good morning. Welcome to part 24, section C of rust treatment. Good morning, Mr. White. Professor White.
Professor White. Good morning, Professor Coates.
Thank you.
If I can help in any way, just let me know.
So we're basically rust treating some bolts. These are the bolts. That's how they come off the vehicle that we're working with. So they're quite rusty. Now we've got 3 bolts in the solution. It's just 4.5 litres of water, and we're going to add some ammonium chloride to it, 200 grams, which we've measured out. The water temperature is set to 30 degrees, which is technically warm water. And we have 3 bolts in there. One is the control, which has just left a normal rust as it come off the vehicle. Number 2, the rust has been taken off with a handheld wire brush. And number 3, the rust has been taken off with an angle grinder with a wire wheel on it. The voltage on the battery trickle charger is set to 11 volts, and basically what happens, the current goes into the outer ring, which is connected to the electrodes, anodes inside, which are in this warm solution, and the neutral is connected to the bolts via these copper rods on top, which we've attached to the bucket so they don't roll around. And then we just add the 200 grams of ammonium chloride into the solution, and then hopefully it will treat the rust. So Mr. Coates, if you'd like to put the chemical into the
just dispense it in.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes.
Do you want me to sprinkle?
Yes, so it works through, and then we give it a little stir. And
can I use this?
You could use that. Yes.
Like icing sugar.
It is.
Isn't it?
Yes. Don't
stick it in. Yeah.
Yes.
The whole lot.
Yes.
What did you say this was again?
Ammonium chloride.
Oh. Is it going to stink?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It's not going to explode?
No, it won't explode, no. So I think it sits in that solution for 40 minutes. Gas mark 6, 20 minutes per pound, and then another 20 minutes.
It's like a massive sherbet dib-dab.
It is.
Dib-dab?
Yes.
Dib-dab, yeah.
There we go. Thank you, Professor White. You just wouldn't mind giving that... Is he whizzy? Let's get busy. If you wouldn't mind giving that a quick stir.
Oh! What, with me finger?
No, don't stick your finger in there. With the spoon, with the spoon. Right. Yes. Okay, give it a good stir around. That's it. And then we just
What about if I'm knocking the bolts?
It doesn't matter. And then we just let that cook away.
How long for?
I think it's 50 minutes. 40 to 50 minutes. Yeah. So we're going to have a lovely cup of tea, because you can't beat a lovely cup of tea. And we'll come back to it, and then we see how the bolts have
and that's
progressed. Yes.
So we just.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes. We'll have a lovely cup of tea.
Right.
Because you can't beat a lovely cup of tea.
Can't beat a lovely cup of tea.
No. Oh, well, hello, you lot. Now, part 2, the Mark Blundell interview. If you haven't seen part 1, go back an episode and you'll see it. It's very, very good. Trust me. Wait for the bang. Yeah, Liqui.
Yep.
That beautiful beautiful Ligier.
Yeah.
German Grand Prix. That's what did it for me. That's when I noticed you basically. That battle with Berger. I mean, it's all in the history. Everyone says it.
But again, it's one of those transformations of done the year of testing with McLaren.
Yeah.
Obviously, shown my wares behind the wheel in lap time when we're at tests and matching guys and surpassing them.
Yeah.
And then Ligier came along and said, right, we want you to drive for us next year.
Yeah.
First ever English driver to ever be with French Ligier team. Caused a few hoo-has because if you look back over the years, most of the sponsorship was government French-backed companies.
Yeah.
So it caused a bit of uproar, to be honest.
I mean, were there any benefits to that, being an Englishman in a French team?
There was a benefit in that when you delivered what you needed to deliver, everyone was fully focused on you because it's like, right, he's talking and we need to understand him, so the focus is there. Yeah. Slightly got eroded quickly when my teammate Blundell turned up because he spoke French. Yeah, and he's a damn sight better than me at politics.
That bloody man.
Yeah, he's a smart individual.
We had a laugh on him one day anyway.
So Martin sort of was very good on that side of things, but it was nice for me because Williams were a big supporter and we had a Williams rear end in terms of gearbox, drivetrain.
So was the engine exactly the same, or did you have a little bit better because it was Renault and French run?
No, I mean because really the factory association was with Williams, but we still had good engines from Renault, had good supply. I had good relationship with the guys from the Williams days, but the be all and end all of that car was the gearbox, the rear suspension, that side of things was bolted on from the Williams. So so it was a good car. I mean, it wasn't a great car, but it was a good car, and the team were good guys. I mean, we had some good results. A few little mishaps could have been, but...
Yeah. So the balance was good and everything, you could use it and do what you wanted with it.
It delivered me 2 podiums, so I'm happy with that. So got to stand up on the podium. There's one on the wall
we'll
coming
have a
up.
picture of that.
I mean, Tyrrell was, a great time to be there, just at the end of when Ken was around, sort of on a day-to-day basis. And Harvey Postlethwaite was there. Mike Gascoigne was there. So we had some good people. What we didn't have was resource budget.
Yeah, that's always a problem.
And that was the issue. To the point where it was actually quite detrimental. I went off the road at Monza because the brakes exploded because they'd been skimmed twice. So there was basically no material left because we didn't have the budget to replace them. So all of these things that, if you said that in today's world of Formula One, they'd look at you like, I don't know, it's stupid. But back when we were doing it, it was a lot of things like that happened, and like people didn't really understand it. It was like no different to me at Brabham. I mean, I sat at Brabham on 2 occasions waiting for my paycheck because it bounced. You wouldn't even relate that to modern day Formula One. So Tyrrell, it was a good time, but what saved me with Tyrrell was my relationship I had with Yamaha, because I've been with them in Brabham and delivered them their first World Championship point, and fortunately for me, I delivered them their first podium as a manufacturer as well. So I think a jet ski and a motorbike is my bonus. So there you go. No millions of dollars, a jet ski and a motorbike, but it's a good little car, aerodynamically quite efficient. But biggest issue for me was my teammate. Because Ukio was a very small guy, and in those days of F1 there was no balance of performance in terms of driver weight. So even back then, although I was in good shape, I'm quite big boned and actually one of the heavier guys, and he was probably like 10 kilos lighter. So you look at a trace, I mean, he'd come off the corner and just do this, accelerate.
So you were doing 2 seconds a lap, quicker to do the same lap time.
I mean, you just couldn't
crazy,
because it was never equalised.
No.
You talk to people and they go, I was like, well, it is what it is. It's like, if I get him to carry another 15 gallons of fuel, then we're equal. So it is what it is. But there you go. It doesn't matter anymore. It's irrelevant.
Well, you kind of started to. I mean, you moved to McLaren after that, didn't you? Was racing with Mika Hakkinen. But then you kind of lost faith a little bit, it seemed, with Formula One, because then you moved over to the States to race the IndyCar. Alongside a friend of yours, Gugelmin.
So Mo I'd known from F1 days. So I went, at the end of Tyrrell, it was very clear that there was no money there. So I wasn't going to be able to stay because I needed to bring a big commercial sponsor, which I couldn't do. I've never done that. I've always been fortunate enough to be paid to be a driver on merit. I think they then, when he got the finish, I think Silo came with Nokia or something, and McLaren came back at me to say, hey, like, if you're not going to be doing anything, come back to us. You can sit there in the reserve role again. So I'm like, okay, yeah, great. I'd rather be with you guys in a big outfit and sit around, As luck would have it, it worked in my favour because I ended up doing most of the season. It wasn't a great car, as we all know, but still, we did what we did. And yeah, I actually then got to the end of that season and I was due to go to Sauber. So I basically signed heads of agreement to go to Sauber. But in the interim period while we were doing that deal, they changed part ownership and Mateschitz of Red Bull bought into the team. Yeah. And with his acquisition of equity, he had basically the slam dunk vote on the next driver in the open seat. And the only driver that was then to fit his criteria of winning a Grand Prix that was on the market was Johnny Herbert. So because I hadn't won a Grand Prix and Johnny had, they gave Johnny the seat. And that's when I got a bit disheartened with Formula One because it was like politics. So I went, you know what, I'm kind of done with this. I'd had a deal from Mercedes to take an engine because they were very happy with what I'd contributed from McLaren and Merck. And they said, if you want to do something in America, we'll give you an engine deal. And then you can go to a team and take this.
So was that the first year you went over there you had the deal, or the second year?
I had the deal when I went there, but because the contract with the team was still with Cosworth, we couldn't use it. So as soon as that had run out, then you saw the team switch to Mercedes power. So that's how it worked. And we did what we did there, but obviously the first year I went, it nearly killed me. So.
Well, yes, because you had that certain day in Rio, didn't you? Which we were only watching the footage a couple of nights ago, and it's a bit scary watching it.
People say when it goes into slow motion, it does, doesn't it?
It's a bit scary being in it, I can tell you that. So there's many people have seen it now, but it's brake failure. So the brake hub exploded. It was a part that should actually not been on the car, had not been tested, it wasn't a certified Reynard part, it was a third-party engineering part.
Well, you very nearly took Gugelmin out, didn't you, on the car?
Well, I tried to.
Probably been best to, yeah.
Because if you look, there was no tyres or crash barriers or safety barrier back then, it was concrete. So, when the brakes failed, my instinct said that I need to hit something before I hit the concrete wall, and I tried to hit my teammate. I'm not sure what would have happened to Mo, but I wasn't thinking like that at the time. Self-preservation. I missed him, and in fact, if you see, and Mo will tell you, he said like when I went by the back of his car actually moved because I took all the air away from his rear wing, and struck the concrete. And that's still to this day the noise actually the biggest thing that stays with you, the actual sort of resonance of that impact.
But watching the footage though, when it all comes to a standstill, you get out. It looks like you do obviously take the steering, and you're walking away and looking back at the car, and then suddenly kind of obviously realise you've broken your foot and your ankle, and is that just
so adrenaline is a powerful thing. So firstly, I never got knocked out. I was never unconscious. So I've always said that I should have been a heavyweight boxer because no one would have been able to deck me and knock me out. Because after going through that, I'm pretty sure that is the case. Which only means there's probably nothing upstairs, but there you go.
Well, the G-force in hitting the wall at 122.
It was 122 G,
Stretched the seatbelts as well, I bet, didn't it?
Yeah, they were 5 inches longer than what they were manufactured. So, and it was actually two impacts. If you watch, it was like the first one and then the second one when it slaps. And the monocoque was compressed by 2 inches. So it was 2 inches narrower than what it was manufactured. But it's a case of, we had the accident, and you're right, first thing I did was actually touch my legs because I couldn't feel them because they were numb from like the compression. And instinctively you always just try and get out of the car. And I did until I realised that some stuff was broken and I collapsed. And that was the end of that. But even then, and if you spoke to anyone who was actually on the scene, they would tell you the first things that I said was, tell my teammate my brakes failed. so that the team could tell him over the radio. And if you look back, literally on the restart, 10 laps odd in, Maurizio's brakes failed. He was lucky because he managed to get it up to the wall on the back straight, and then he went all the way around the perimeter wall to slow him down. I was a little bit unlucky because mine hit on the braking point. So, yeah, one of those things.
But once you're fixed, you're back in a car racing again, which
Well-
is always something that my mindset
Yeah.
always struggles with that.
You did well at Toronto as well, didn't you?
Yeah, so it's again, this is the other side of the coin that people don't get. I mean, you're doing what you're doing and you're a professional racing driver, but it's my job. Yeah, and the pressures of the job is there's always somebody in pit lane waiting to take your job. Yeah. I got back in a race car way too early because I was only out of it for 7 weeks. I'd had a clot in the brain, which I didn't know about until I arrived back in England and was actually in Addenbrooke's in Cambridge. And when I got off the plane, got taken directly by my dad, and late dad then, to the hospital. And I had a number of injuries, but if I didn't get back in the car, I was going to lose my drive because someone else was going to take grips of it.
It's the old Patrick Head thing, isn't it? Light bulbs, isn't it?
It's commercial pressures, and again, because I had a family and that's where we were and needed to do what we needed to do. So, was it the smartest thing in the world? No. Was it the right thing to do for what I had to do? Yes. If I was in a position of having the comfort fiscally of knowing that, I can take another 4 weeks away without losing my drive, I would have done it. But I didn't have that level of comfort.
Yeah, 2002, I've got it down here, as you joined ITV for the Formula One season. And I just wanted to ask you whether it felt a bit strange to be in the Formula One circuit, but not actually driving. You're talking to everybody, I guess, and wondering, you're part of this kind of thing going around the world.
Enough, probably.
But you're not actually kind of, that must feel a bit strange.
So I enjoyed doing the television. I'm not Martin Blundell, and Martin for me is fantastic because he's very eloquent, he's got a great vocabulary, he's good at putting things together. I'm from a different side of the tracks, so my vocabulary is pretty small, right? And I try and explain it in layman's terms, which is probably why I got on with engineers, because I was just very, this is what he's doing, Dong, 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 dong. But, live television is great because it keeps you on your toes, but once it's been delivered, you can't get it back. So we can't do what we want to do here and edit. So you guys make me look good. You can't do it at live TV. But we enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than anything because me and Martin are very close in terms of being mates. So we had a great laugh.
Because you had a day with the Williams Toyota, didn't you, with him?
Yeah, we've done loads of different things. And,
was it nice to?
Yeah, it was. We had some great things that we did, and it was, and the ITV guys, North One Productions was doing it. Great people.
Because I think they do the touring cars now, don't they?
Yeah. So they're good, good bunch of people, but it wasn't back then what it is today. So it didn't have a 24/7 F1 channel dedicated. It was quite a different sort of thing, but we enjoyed it. I'm still, I'm pretty sure Martin will still say there's some great days in terms of his TV career, even because it was good. We won BAFTA award as a team, so it was good stuff. But the television opportunity was delivered, and it was no different in me trying to make a choice. If I can't do what I want to do at the level I want to do it, then I'll do something else.
Touring cars.
Touring cars.
How did that come about? Someone asked you to do it? Or?
Yeah, it's exactly that. And again, it was a situation that arose. Commercial partners said, we'd back you, but you've got to do it.
It looked the nuts.
Great. I had some great partners.
But it wasn't. It was a hard car, wasn't it?
Well, it was never supposed to be that car.
No.
I was supposed to be in the Subaru.
Really?
I was supposed to be in a rear-wheel drive Subaru.
No,
that was a deal that we were going to do.
No.
And during the Christmas and New Year period, the Subaru team were in some issues that had become apparent, and I wasn't in a position where I could walk in a big blue chip partner and put them into this situation. It was very hurtful for me because it took away from me a fundamental baseline of me knowing I had a rear-wheel drive car. And then what
I
it
feel
did,
so sorry for you.
it put us on our back foot because options are really limited in terms of putting it. So I had the commercial partner.
Yeah.
I then didn't have a car, didn't have a team.
Because
didn't
the
have
Audi
anything.
was probably at its maximum development. It couldn't go any further. He couldn't do with it.
No, but it would have just been a good baseline for me because at least I wouldn't have had to try to understand doing front wheel drive, you know, and as I've always said, I couldn't get.
I
my
mean,
head
was
around
it constant? You know, you set it up. Was it constant every lap, or did it change each corner?
No,
Because I know with the
just-
Renault 19, it changed every corner.
Just
You'd go
couldn't
and-
get my head around. I couldn't build any confidence. Couldn't get my head around driving it. My style of driving doesn't suit front wheel drive. You know, when you apply a throttling stages in a front wheel drive car, all you do is this. Yeah, and it just didn't work. You know, I could see it as plain as day sitting alongside Jake. You know, so Jake Hill is with us on our side now. He's a great driver, and I could see it and like, I can't do that. I'm too long in the tooth. My brain and my right foot.
It's muscle memory, isn't it?
They're wired differently. I don't left foot brake.
No.
I learned to left foot brake on the ovals in America. Never did it before. So yeah, everything that could have gone did go. But of course, I came in with being a Formula One guy and everything else. So, and actually, if you look back historically,
At first race.
but
man, I'll
actually,
tell you
most
that.
F1 guys that have come and done it, I've never done any good.
No, I
Yeah,
haven't.
most of them, I don't. In fact, I don't know any of them who really have done any good.
Not really. I mean,
all tried it.
Nigel come close a couple of times, a couple of bits, but that was more luck with him, really.
Well, but
to be fair.
I think all of us have probably turned around and go. I mean, a load of my guys rung me and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm doing it for several reasons." But I committed, and now I've got to go through with it. But what I committed to is now changed.
Knock Hill, you were good at Knock Hill. It was good at Knock Hill.
Yeah, there was. I mean, we had a few. Listen, we had a few outings that were okay, but
Yeah, so in the last round at Brands Hatch, I think you were unlucky changing the tyres when
Yeah,
you did. If you'd
yeah.
kept them tyres on, it would have probably been. Because we could see from the stands that the weather wasn't going to do what everyone was thinking it was going to do.
yeah. No, it was like, I enjoyed it
Yeah.
to a point, and then there was a point in me like, I'd really like to get out of this because, But also, I was doing my day job, you know. So we run our agency. We've got a lot going on.
Is that the main reason?
But I got blamed, didn't I, for the bad performance at the end of the season.
Why was
Because I
that?
came up to you in the pit lane and I shook your hand and said, "Shake your hand for luck," and then you didn't do very well, and I got the blame for that. I got the "Don't go near that guy ever again."
Yeah.
Just leave him alone.
Well, I wouldn't take that to your grave. I don't think you did. So
No, Mikey, that's your fault. Yeah.
It's all my fault.
I'm pretty sure it was destined to be the same result. So
Well,
But the partners, what a company. I mean, if drivers, if we'd got something like this when I was my age, it's just unreal. I mean, you got, Theo and all the boys and Mr. Fennick. I mean,
yeah, we've got really good guys with us, so we're lucky in that respect.
Yeah.
I mean, but the whole thing's driven off the back of actually myself and Martin Brundle, because we were both.
Because he went on.
We were on the BRDC, on the
Yeah.
board of the BRDC. So we kept looking at all these young drivers and going, right, they've got this funded, now they need to go and spend it wisely and try and make.
Because it's easily taken off you. I had loads of money taken off of me.
So that's basically what we set it up for.
Yeah.
And then Martin then really focused more on his television and also his son Alex.
Yeah.
And I got to a point of going, right, I want to be with like-minded people
Yeah.
and someone who's got passion to drive us. And Theo and Ian joined us, Robin.
All connections. And
Yeah,
it makes it work. doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very fortunate, and we've got some great guys. Yeah, I mean, Mike Conway, Gary Paffett have been with me now 17 years.
Yeah, fair bloke.
Yeah, Tom Blomqvist. Yeah, we got a youngster at the minute, Kanate Lee's 14.
And you've got
Japanese.
Esme as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Esme doing what she's doing. We've got Charlie
She
Martin.
did as well in the first race at that circuit. I mean, bloody hell, man.
It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work because things have changed. The dynamics of motorsport's changed. The dynamics of young people today
all media as well now, isn't it?
is different.
Yeah, it's totally different.
Yeah. I'm 55, nearly 56,
Yeah.
and I look back and I'm like, what I did when I started and what they're doing now, there is a foundation that you still have to apply, but there's also an understanding that they don't quite get it because they're used to a world that's quite different. Exactly, yeah. And I look at it and go like, well, I get that because we're involved in it, but the most important part is going around in circles, and that still has to be the basics, Your profile is not going to drive your results. You still got to deliver on the circuit, and that's really the be all and end all of it. Yeah.
It just goes without saying now that we're extremely grateful.
Oh, I've got one thing.
Oh, have you got one
Mark Blundell Racing Driver School. We need one of them. So people can come up for a week, spend a week there, like the old Jim Russell days.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Possibility or not? Don't think that's needed now, or?
I don't know whether it is
Can you see yourself Donington Park with your name over it?
I don't know. I've been asked to do lots of things like that over the years. The same as I've been asked to do a book like 6 times now, and I still haven't done it. And I'm not,
you're not old enough yet, ain't done it.
Well, I think I am, but I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll see. We've got the name over the garage in the touring car pit lane, so we'll see whether that grows and morphs into something else.
And he's going to do bloody well.
I hope so.
He is.
Touch wood.
Yeah, he's bloody good. He's a nice man as well.
He is a good guy. Yeah, good guy.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us take
Honestly,
time
I'm
up
just
today and talking to you.
I've got hundreds of things I want to ask you. Pick your brains.
And apologies, you had to come up 2 flights of stairs, but there you go. Sorry.
That's all right for him. It's not for me. I've got to try and lose all this by April. How the hell am I going to do that? I don't know.
Join the club. So.
Right, mind out, mate. Here I come. Keep the workshop. You've got to keep the dust in. You've got to keep the dust in, haven't you? Hey?
What? Holy moly.
No, Liqui Moly, mate. I tell you, if you want to buy anything from them, they've got a website, right? So it's LM Performance, but the website you want to go to is LMPUK.
Yeah.
I've got that right, .com. And we've set a code up. We've got a code set up. So it's M&M 22, and it'll give you 15% off. 15% off.
Use the code.
Yeah.
Go to the website, use the code. They do all sorts.
Yeah.
Engine additives, they do this.
The website address and the code I'll put up on the bottom of the screen now for you. So use it, 15% off. 15% off.
Yeah. Go on,
I'm going to go and put an order in now, mate. I'm going to put an order in.
Go and get some oil. Get some oil.
Anyway.
Right, you lot. This is Ad Camp. I've come up here on the quiet, couldn't sleep, so I thought I'd have a go with the old cleaning solution. It's fizzing away there. Look, you can see we've got it set at 5 amps at the moment. It's been going for 15 minutes, and it's cleaned that one off. Look how much it's cleaned that one. Look. Just leave them in there, let them fizzing away. I think that's the one that we'd cleaned off properly. I think that's number 2 that was just cleaned off with a wire brush, and that's come up all right. Look. Oh, ow! I'm sorry about the state of the camera. I'm obviously not as good as Mark. That's number 3. Look, which wasn't touched at all, just put straight in it. So I reckon after another 10 minutes, they'll come up okay. Yeah. Keep touching that. Yeah, so I think that's the one that was done with just a hand wire brush. So he's taking it off, getting all the old zinc off, cleaning it up. I think that's the one that was done with the wire brush. That's number 1. So that's come up all right. Look. And number 3 is that one, which wasn't touched at all, and it's taking it off. So yeah, very pleased with that. I did put a little bit more chemical in it as well, to be fair, and I've turned the current up a little bit more, and it seems to be fizzing away lovely. It's a lot darker and grimier, the water, than it was the first time we tried it. I was obviously doing something wrong. I think I've done it right this time. Let's set at 32 degrees the stat. So technically that's warm water. Yeah, cool. Right, Mark. Now, take door off today. I only take one off, and we film taking one off because the other one's the same. I better put my hat on. Look at that.
Yeah, don't forget your hat.
Look at that. Look.
Don't forget your hat.
Oh, look at that, and it's sexy. Right, now, Mark, before we start that, I bought some plastic sheet, same as the door cards. Actually, it's a little bit thicker than that. And I'm toying with the idea of, there's a couple of old speaker holes in the back there, and I wanted to cover them up. Now I was going to use this plastic sheet, but I don't know.
Now speaker holes as in.
Those gating holes there.
Yeah.
And then fix them back in with the push-in. I bought some of those push-in studs that the door cards hold on with. I was just going to put that over. I just wanted to put that over, neaten it up a bit. But I didn't know where to go with oval or rectangle. I personally think rectangle, but what do you reckon? Perhaps we could have people comment what they reckon is best.
What about triangle?
No.
Oblong.
Oblong?
Oblong.
I used to have that for pudding. And you'd like, wouldn't it? Oh no, it's been a mange. So yeah, so we're going to do that, but I don't know if I leave it or cover it in. I'm not sure yet. Might leave it, but am I being over fussy?
What about extra
Am I being
weight?
over fussy? Well, it won't wait. Well, it won't. Will
We're
it?
taking every little tiny bit out to save on weight, then you're putting bits in.
I know, but I'm overthinking it, and
We'll have a think about it.
I'll have a think about it. It's just the fact that there's a gaping big hole there, and do I paint the inside of that, or what do I do? Right, now, door. It's got, I'll make some noise, shall I? We've got a funny sort of bolty type thing. It's like a Turox, the wrong way. The opposite. Get in there, look, that one there, look. And I thought, there's no way I'm going to have anything to undo that. But it turns out, one of these sort of like funny sort of multi-star ends fits it. So I'll undo it.
Right.
So we can undo the stay, we take that off first. It might even be the right thing for it, I don't know. Because I don't know, I'm not a mechanic. So we take that out. We take the doodah. What I'll do is I'll put that back in there once that stays out of the way. I ain't going to push it there now, is it? Can I just see if I can push that back? That's it, we've got it now. Push that back in there. If I put that back in there, and hopefully we won't lose it, will we? You reckon? Good idea or not?
Well, don't know. Don't want to lose it, do you?
Sounds like I ain't turned my phone off.
That's right, it's just another order coming in for the hats.
Yeah, we are seriously thinking about selling them, but obviously...
Because we've got hats.
Yeah, because if you want to get ahead... Now, the other bit is the wiring loom on the side here, look. We've got them... I've undone them before.
Is there any way I can get in there?
Can you get that? You might need a light for that.
I might need a light for that, yeah.
Can you get a light for that? Do you want me to hold a light for you? No, it's not got a plug on it.
Keep going. Keep going.
Anyway, we'll undo that. I've undone that before anyway to get the thing out. To undo the loom when we were doing that.
Have you thought much more about the door panels as well?
I don't know yet. I can't. They're growing on me now. I mean, they're
Because you
really
were talking
well
about
made.
alloy ones, weren't you?
Yeah, but they're growing on me now.
Aluminium minion.
Aluminium?
Yeah. Start that again. Yeah, don't start that.
But no, they're growing on me now. I mean, I'd like carbon fibre ones really, but it's still cost again, isn't it? You know, it's like time and cost. It's just a nightmare. It is a nightmare. Yeah, so, digress. No, I think I'm going to leave them actually. See how we get on. I can always change them later on once we get going with it.
Right.
Hey, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is there still something to peel off of it?
Yeah.
It's like a...
Yeah. Yeah. Right, now 30mm. Loosen that top one off first.
Whoa!
Well, hey,
I saw it drop then.
you did. Now, I don't know how they come off, whether they actually sit in a hole or they're in a groove. I don't know. No, they're in a hole.
What?
Right.
What, you mean they're in a groove? Like a funk band?
You seen what I'm doing here?
Like a funk band?
The only problem is we're going to spray all that and we haven't got a clue. And they all go back on. It's going to be a complete arse adjusting them, aren't they? So they shut properly. I should have scratched them first. I'll do that on the other one. I scratch around the bolt so it scratches the metalwork, and then you know.
I was waiting to see if you think of that, and I thought I won't tell
really?
you. I thought I won't tell you because I'll only get told off. I'll only get told off if I tell you.
Really?
I was going to say, do you want to mark them doors before you undo them?
That was a Beatles song, wasn't it?
What's that?
Oh really?
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll worry about it later. Oh, that one's loose as well. That one's very loose. Can you get in there?
Just about.
Just putting them in it. Oh! I like Halford stuff, you know. I like their expert stuff.
You're only trying to get freebies.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
You're just trying to get freebies.
Get a freebie. Yeah, it would be nice. Should we undo that? Rubber strap, rubber bung, no. Bungee. Should we undo the bungee on the door? You like me doing me bees, don't you? Right, okay, so that's that then.
No
So hopefully I'll be able to manage that on my own, Mark, so don't worry.
Well, you're a big strong boy, ain't you?
Don't worry, Mark. It's alright, Mark, don't worry,
all right.
Mark.
I'm
I've
holding
got
the
it.
camera.
Don't worry, Mark, it's fine. I've got it.
Big strong boy.
Right,
Who
okay.
used to say that? Henry Cooper, wasn't it? He's a big strong boy.
He's a big, strong boy. Oh, I'm struggling, Mark. There we go, come on. Come on. Right, that's that. I'm out of puff. Thanks for that. Alright, so that's one down, and that's exactly the same on the other one, so
Yeah.
we won't film that.
Rinse and repeat, as you say.
Rinse and repeat.
Rinse
As
and
Jonathan
repeat.
Ross would say.
Yeah.
Rinse and
Yeah,
repeat.
okie dokie. Right.
Yeah. So that's that then. Right, yeah, so we've had a change of heart, look. I think it'd have been easier just to undo them. Ah, but you know what'll happen? One will be one way and one will be the other, won't it? Just see, because I'll... Yeah. So we should have done that then.
Oh well, there you go.
Live and learn.
Live and learn.
Live and learn.
Said that together then.
Yeah.
Make a wish.
I think you're still here. Yeah, so yeah. Should have done that then, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Know what to do on the next door now.
No, I'll do on the other one now. It'd be a lot easier, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But that's what it's all about. It's all about trial and error, isn't it? And it's mainly error. Right, okay, good. I will put them back on that one then, just to, so I know we don't lose them. Put that one back in there. Right, so the other door, we do it on the amended way, just undoing them two 10mm bolts top and bottom and it slide off, and then we're not altering where the door sits in, are we? But luckily, because we've done it that way, I can put the nuts back onto it, bracket back on in the same position, because obviously we've got the paint mark there, haven't we? So we're all right on that one. So we won't take that off. Oh, oh, oh! The bolts. Come in. That's the pot with all the cleaning stuff in it. The,
You told me
ammonium
you
chloride.
hadn't got a pot. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we were talking about something else. Lack of money, weren't we? That's what we were talking about.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so this is a pot we made up earlier. Ammonium chloride. We had 12 volts, 5 amps going through it. I put a little bit more of the ammonium chloride in it, and they've come up really well. Look, I've given them a bit going over with a wire brush, but look how lovely that's come up. That was solid rust. That's the one I did with the angle grinder with a wire brush on it. That one was just with a hand wire brush, wooden
Before
one.
you put them in the
yeah,
stuff,
before I put them in the stuff. So that was one, that was two. Right, the third one. So that we didn't do anything with that, and it still took a load off, look. But they obviously want wire brushing first. And the thing, I think the mistake I made the first time I did it, I put the resistor in, and when I actually read the instructions, when I actually read the instructions, you want me to say it again? Because I don't read the instructions.
There was a very big pause, wasn't there? Waiting for a reaction.
Because when I actually read the instructions, it said that the resistor is optional, and when you look at it into it more deeply, that's to put more resistance into it, so it doesn't, so it's not quite so aggressive stripping or cleaning, if you see what I mean. So it's on different metals you put the resistor in, so it's not so aggressive. So I took the resistor out, stuck the thermometer to 32 or whatever it was to keep the water warm, turned the voltage was 12 volts 5 amps, and that really bubbled up and it was fizzing like Billy-O. I mean, you can see the colour of the water.
Fizzing like Billy-O?
Yeah.
How does Billy-O fizz then?
Well, if you drop them in water, you'll see.
Right.
But you can see the colour of it, look, and it's even copperised, you know, it's affected the copper there, but I thought it was really good. And then I just used my wire brush on the end of that, on the old bench grinder. Just bought a wheel, like £4 wheel from Tool Station, and shoved it on the end. It come with the spacers, and then just clamped them up with that.
Right, you're going to do that now?
Oh, I can do, yeah.
Go on, give it a whirl.
So that, yeah, just give it a
Spin the
quick,
wheel of fortune.
Yeah, but it's not fixed down. It needs to be fixed down, but it's only 150 watt as well, so it hasn't got a lot of go in it.
I'll come in on that, look.
Yeah, it hasn't got a lot of go in it, and I'll just give them a clean up on that. But it'd be interesting to see what that third one comes up like.
I just got near you then. And you stopped doing it.
Yeah, well, no, because I want to show you the third one that's got all the crap on it.
Show me the third one.
Yeah, that's the third one.
Right.
That's the one that's really grotty, and you just see how it comes up. But you can still see the rust on it, look. It's still got the rust on it, although we've been cleaning it up with that. Yeah. And if you compare that to the first one, it's just miles better, isn't it?
Well, it is.
So I've sussed it out now, so the next time when we go to do the stripping, because I think in the big kit, you know, the zinc plating kit, the big one, I think you get all this cleaning stuff with it as part of the system. You clean them all up first, and they go into different buckets.
So are you saying they're not clean enough to zinc plate?
The first one is.
Right.
But these ones, no way.
Right.
No.
What would happen then?
It just wouldn't plate.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that works is that gets some of it gets most of the rust off, and it cleans it. It's basically a cleaner, really, to clean them up ready for zinc plating. Or any other plating. You can copper plate them if you want to. You can do anything.
But we're going to zinc plate.
We're going to zinc plate them.
So they'll be silver.
So they'll be they go to the sort of off silver colour that the original ones were, because that's what they did with the original ones.
And then when you put them in,
because people, what normally they normally just buff them up.
Yeah.
They just buff them up and don't do anything with them. And of course, it's going to rust again, isn't it? Because you're taking the zinc off.
Yeah.
Where if we put the zinc on, they're going to look better, and hopefully they're going to last longer. You know, like
when you bolt them all in, it don't take the zinc off or anything. It's all like new bolts.
Yeah.
Right.
In theory. Hopefully. Yeah.
In theory. In theory.
Yeah.
Right. Okie dokie.
So how's that?
All right.
So all right.
So you're going to crack on doing all the bolts now.
Yeah. What I should probably do is get a bigger bucket, put more water in and more chemically, and then I should probably put them in an old colander or something like that, a metal colander.
Right.
And soak them all in that, and then give them a shake around at some point, because it's only the connection you make with it would be no different to that, really. Right. But it'd be just being bigger, and I can just do more at once, and then just do them all.
Because we've got 15 bolts, haven't we?
Yeah. So I'll clean them all up. I might even sandblast them, actually. I might sandblast them first,
right,
and then wire brush them, and then put them all in there, and that should bring them up lovely. And then, but we want to do it all at the same, in the part of the whole system, because otherwise you leave them, they're going to start rusting again. Yeah. So we've got to do it all in the same day. So they've got to be clent up, dipped, and then clent, and then dipped into the next one, and then.
But the process is all the same. Yeah. So you're just going to
just more buckets,
off camera.
Yeah.
And then probably.
Yeah, we're film doing it.
All right.
You know, there's the sort of steps to it.
All right.
Because you've got to aerate the water and everything.
You nearly knocked your hat off then, didn't you?
Oh, hat. Oh yeah, we've got hats, haven't we? Yeah. Just remembered that. I remember that hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all right. We're all right.
All right.
Yeah. Have I explained that well enough?
Yeah. And we'll show those stages in the next episode.
Yeah, I think. Well, it might not be the next episode.
It might be a while. Takes a while.
Because I really need to get this primed inside.
Oh, that's a point.
Yeah,
that's
a point.
Yeah, we do need to start.
There's a lot of work to do.
We do need to start cracking on.
I mean, I've just given it a quick. Right, let me turn my hat round because I can't see you because of the peak of these lovely new hats. Yeah, so I've rubbed a lot of it down, cleaned all the undersill off. There's still some little bits of undersill to come off. Just little niggly bits in the corner I can get off with a really thin wire brush. Give it a quick coat just to protect it really. And then this will all be rubbed down, and then we're going to prime it white. And we've got there's a few edges. We run down these sort of edges along here. I'll probably do it with some tiger seal because I tried sticking some of these things in, these blanks in with just normal body sealer, but it's just not good enough. So I'll tiger seal those in. It's the bigger ones really that are the problem. And then we just run a little bead down some of these edges, big gaps, and just neaten them up when we paint it. Yeah, and that's it really. So that's going to be all white, all white in the back.
All white in the back.
Yeah. Right, the plates. I've cut them out of 1.2mm aluminium, and it's just literally mark them out on the board, cut them out with a disc, neaten them up with a sanding disc and a file, round the corners off so they look presentable, and then we just stick them in. Blanking plates. We've got all these holes dotted about the car, sort of thing. We've got big hole there, big hole there. I've just shown you basically what we're doing. So we've primed it, and then we put just a quick coat of top coat underneath it, and then we stick them in with car body seal, just a smidgen of it around it, and then just stick it in. Then these would be scuffed off with bright pad, and then etch primed because it's aluminium, and then we're just literally going to stick them all in place, and then they'll be painted in white when we
And
paint
why
the
are we
rest of it.
doing it? Why can't we just leave it as old?
Well, because it looks bloody horrible.
Who's looking at it?
I am.
You're looking that way.
No, but I know I've done it.
Fair enough.
So we're going to make them up.
There's no purpose as such. It's not.
No,
like,
it's just to get rid of all the rubber bungs and make it neat.
It's not strength. It's
and,
not.
No,
it's
and get
just,
rid of the holes. It's just purely looks, really. I mean, because look, we've got them bits here where we took the metal work off. So I've just made some plates up just to cover them up, really, and it just neatens it all up once we start painting it. You know, and then we've got these little discs that go over these little holes. I've made a bigger disc up for that bigger hole, and it just stops the water getting back into the car, really. There's another hole there, obviously, so I've made a disc up for that, and then they'll just be stuck in, scuffed off, etch primed, and then they'll be painted in when we paint the car. And those two just for air vents on the back, because the air needs to move around on them so they're not closed in. And that's it, really.
And there's some more to do all throughout the car, is there then?
Yeah, it's just mainly on the floors. We've got some here where the fuel tank is, just to go over there. And then there's one there, there's one there, and there's one there. And they'll all be these 32mm discs.
I know those little aluminium discs that you talked about a couple of episodes back that I thought were sticky discs.
No.
Sticky discs, but they're not sticky discs, no.
So that's basically what we're doing with them. So next time we see it, it'll be all ready for painting in the white primer, because it's going to, it's just going to be white, and we've got some sealing put in around, little areas just to cover up, and then wet finger job, and then
right, and then we're going to start masking up.
And then mask it up.
Masking up the windows.
Yeah.
So we can start spraying
it then. So then it don't chuck over spray out. I've got a little spray gun. Got a small one I'm going to do it with. I can show you it if you want.
Well, yeah, show me it.
Right. I'm going to use a little, and it's only a cheap old gun, and I've adapted it with this adapter, so it takes these cups that come with a measuring on them, and also they come with a liner that goes inside them. So there's just a tiny little. So then there's not so much overspray, because it's only to do the inside, and then we set up the pressure on it. The right pressure and everything for the gun. Right, so that's the gun. It comes with it's like 25 quid for 27 or something stupid. It weren't a lot of money, and they come with these liners that go inside there, so the paint goes in there. So then you're not getting paint inside that main measuring pot. Then.
Or is it just easy to clean out?
Yeah. And then they come with a load of those as well, which clip into that adapter, and it just screws onto that then. And that's basically keeps you painting it, and that's got a filter on it as well. But we filter it all out anyway. That's got zinc primer in it at the moment, just to touch up on the bare metal that's in there. And that's it, really.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Cool. Cup of tea.
Right, so that's week's episode. So thanks very much for watching. Now, if you watch the beginning of the episodes now, there's a little sequence where it goes across the bench and the answer phone kicks in. If you want to be on the answer phone one week, just record a message or something on your mobile phone and email the file to us at minisandmotorbikes@gmail.com. Alright, and if we like it, don't swear by the way, and if we like it, you can appear on the answer phone one week, can't you?
Yep.
So what's the address again?
Minis and Motorbikes, gmail.com.
Brilliant. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
See you next time.
Bye.